Hello again, everybody. Arrogant Atheist here with you. As always, there's lots to talk about. Somebody brought up the morality of God recently, and this comes up a lot in the conferences that we've done and some of the seminars we've visited, some of the speakers we've listened to bring this up. And a lot of people who are on the fence about this, or Christians who kind of get uneasy with what we do, will bring this up. How can you have a morality without God? And of course it's laughable. Atheists, of course, have all read the Bible, and we know that if morality comes from a God, comes from some higher source, it's not the Judeo-Christian God, because this dude's just a turd. We all know it. We've all read it. He condoned slavery in the Old Testament. He condoned murder when it suited his needs. He committed murder on a level that is in the millions. If you read Dan Barker's book, I think the count is there. The Holy Shit series on YouTube, look for that. You can find it there. How many murders are actually attributed to God in the Bible? Which of his commandments didn't he break? I don't know. He didn't have parents to dishonor, but if he did have parents, they certainly would feel dishonored by the antics that this fool has undertaken over the years, over the centuries, over the eons. Adultery. He went to earth and shagged someone's wife. What more do we need to say about that? For Christ's sake, he went down and shagged someone's wife. So people kind of gloss over the fact that God saw a hottie and went down and bagged her. And why wouldn't you if you're a God? I mean, Jesus. You can see him on Olympus, talking to each other. Hey, Apollo, you shag earth women? No, man, I don't go there. You know he does. And like, Hermes, what about you? Leave me alone. Hermes, I don't like women. But anyway, if I was a God, I'd shag earth women. Did you see Wonder Woman? Good Christ. To pretend that the Bible is moral is just a fantasy. There's nothing moral about it. Even in the New Testament, the Christians will come at you with that's the Old Testament and Jesus came. No, Jesus spurned his mother in favor of his 12 buddies. Is that moral? Is it moral to turn away your mother because you have a group of guys now that you can only hang out with? There's passages where he tells you to sell your garment to buy a sword to fight with him. For he didn't come to make peace, he came to conquer. The contradictions in the New Testament are just as plentiful as they are in the Old Testament. Christians want to think that Jesus preached nonviolence and turned the other cheek, but you can find plenty of passages where he was just a jerk to people, okay? Not moral. So if the other part of that is, of course, if you need the threat of eternal punishment to be a good person, then your issues go beyond whether morality comes from God. You're just a bad person. If you don't get that you don't do certain things to people because you wouldn't want that to happen to you, or because you understand that that's kind of not how society works. If you want peace and harmony, and you want to get your whatever it is that turns you on, then you don't do that kind of crap. It doesn't. There should be no need for the threat of eternal punishment or the disapproval of an imaginary sky god for you to be a good person. So I don't really get that whole bit, but people are stuck on it a little bit. It's the whole good and bad thing. You're following the devil, you're following God, and God is where morality comes. But if we look at it, it doesn't. There's nothing moral about really any God that I know of. If they're out there, yeah, that's great. If there's really a religion that's based on a God that's moral, but no, it's all made up by the society that made it up, and their subjective morality always goes into it.